Thanks PDS Dat for sponsoring this video. For today's experiment, we start off with a good amount of meat. I want you to notice one thing. We have a variety of cuts. This will produce the most incredible amount of flavoring to my ground beef. Since I'm going to be dry aging them, I want the best possible outcome. And if you've never grounded your own meat, there's one step that is quite important, and it is to cut all of them in small cubes. That way it's going to go through your grinder nice and easy. But most importantly, you want to slightly freeze them. Usually that's done overnight, because the last thing we want is for them to start melting as they're grinding. So once done, you want to cover the whole thing up and let it sit on your freezer for about 2 hours. You also want to freeze the removable pieces of your grinder. The key here is that you want to keep everything as cold as possible, because after about 2 hours, they're nice and firm and ready to be ground. I went ahead and grinded the whole thing up. Remember, we're going to be dry aging this beef, so I made sure to have a good amount. The more, the better. In the end, take a look. I was left with a mountain of ground beef. Now there's something extremely important you need to know about ground beef. There's one reason why the USDA always recommends to cook it well done, because whenever you expose oxygen, you're allowing bacteria to grow. But if you grind your own meat, it's different, especially if you're going to cook it right away. But remember, we're not. So there's a high chance that this experiment is going to go down south. But we're going to do it anyway. So after forming a nice tight log, making sure I remove as much air pocket as possible, I set it down on a cooling rack, as the next step is to go ahead and dry age the whole thing. So into the dry ager it goes for a very long time. Once the time was up, I took it out and look. This is what ground beef looks like when it's being dry aged. And honestly, it almost looks like salami. But most importantly is the smell. Surprisingly, it had none. So I went ahead and started opening it up. I wanted to cut it in steaks, but take a closer look. It was exactly what I was expecting. We got an outer crust like a pellicle, and most importantly, everything is nice and pink inside. Hopefully, this is going to taste fantastic. At least that's my hope. And since I have a good amount of it, I wanted to try to cook it several different ways. So for the remaining big piece, I went ahead and chopped the whole thing up, because we're going to be cooking this Brazilian style. Once everything was nicely mixed, I went ahead and added a generous amount of mozzarella cheese right in the middle, closed it all up, and to make sure it wasn't going to fall apart on me, I found this tool to cook fish. So I went ahead and placed the whole thing inside. To have a true comparison if it was an improvement or not dry aging ground beef, I'm also going to be using one that is not dry aged. Once I was done making the patty, now I have everything ready. We got the dry aged on the right and the control on the left. For the seasoning, I kept it all the same. A good amount of salt followed by freshly ground black pepper. To cook it, I'm going to be using my wireless thermometer, because for today's experiment, I want to cook it all the way through. But just in case things do not turn out as good as I wanted, I wanted to make a quick gravy, because there's one thing that always comes to mind whenever I cook ground beef, and that would be loco moco. And this one is quite simple. Into a bowl, you want to throw in some beef broth, followed by soy sauce, some Worcestershire sauce, tiny bit of ketchup, and cornstarch. Mix everything together and immediately throw it into a pan, because now we want it to reduce. Keep it under medium heat, because once it has reduced to half, it's ready. It's simple and easy to make. Even though we made an incredible sauce, we can't just have ground beef by itself. So I wanted to go ahead and make an awesome side dish. And this one will please everyone. And here's how to make it. The first thing we need is pizza dough. You want to go ahead and open the whole thing up with a rolling pin just like this. You can make this whatever flavor you like. For this one specifically, I chose some chorizo. So I added some right on the sides, made an enclosure, then I added a generous amount of mozzarella cheese, followed by a raw egg. Then I closed up the edges, and into the oven it goes to cook. As once it's done, take a look. Since it cooks so quickly, the egg's still slightly raw. Then I brushed the edges with some melted butter, added a tiny bit of chives right on top, and that is today's side dish. I have a feeling that this is gonna please a lot of people. But just in case you don't like raw egg, I went ahead and made several different other variations. The wonderful thing about these is that you can make it your own, and hopefully these are gonna pair up perfectly with our dry-aged ground beef. Because now that we have everything ready, the only thing left to do is to go ahead and cook them. And remember, for today's cook, I'll be cooking them all the way to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And for that, I'll be using my wireless thermometer. So now I say, it is enough talking, and it is time to grill some dry-aged beef. So let's do it. Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, PDS Debt. Nowadays, it's so easy to get into credit card debt. Every store has their own credit card, and you can even apply to cards online with a push of a button. But getting out of debt, now that is a whole nother story. Credit card companies don't want you to get out of debt. That's how they make their money after all. It is time to break the system. If you or someone you know is struggling with credit cards, personal loans, collections, or medical bills, you need to check out PDS Debt. They can help by rolling all of your payments into one low monthly payment. If you find yourself in the same loop of making payments every month, but your debt does not go away, then this program is for you. PDS Debt offers customized options for anyone struggling with all types of debt. Like I said earlier, they even offer a program that consolidates all of your debt into one monthly payment. Plus, PDS Debt is a top-rated company on Google. They even have an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. PDS Debt cares about helping you get out of debt. Check out all their reviews and see how many people mentions PDS Debt employees by name. It is incredible. Get a free debt analysis right now at pdsdebt.com/Guga. It only takes 30 seconds. That's pdsdebt.com/Guga. So thanks PDS Debt for sponsoring this video, but now let's get right back to it. All right, everybody, and here we got our beautiful steak with an incredible side dish. What do you guys think, gentlemen?
This side dish looks beautiful.
The steaks, on the other hand, not so much.
So, we got an experiment going on. I want your honest opinion. You don't have to eat it if you don't want to, because there is a slight chance that might not be safe. Enough talking, let's dig in. Jump into this one here, please. How does it smell? Tell me.
It smells like a delicious gravy to me.
Let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. It's so savory. I love the crispiness of the exterior of it, and the gravy is perfect because ground beef is normally really lean and dry, so the gravy gives that moisture, that sauce, that juice that it's lacking. Perfect combo.
It almost makes you feel like you're eating a steak, but it's not a steak. It's still very good. There's really no issues for me. It's just not a real steak.
It is not a real steak. It doesn't feel like a real steak, and you're absolutely right, but it's good. I enjoy it. Now, we can go ahead and jump into the side dish or go immediately to this
Side
one.
dish.
Yeah, side dish.
Damn!
100%.
Well, this is P-Days. At least it's my take on P-Day, everybody. Please go ahead and grab whichever one you feel like it.
I think I know what I gotta do here.
Oh, you're gonna grab that? Are you gonna go pop the yolk?
Pop.
Oh, there you go.
I'll do the one that Angel would never touch.
Oh, you're going for the healthy kind. Enough talking, let's give it a go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I rest my case. The char on the actual bread is incredible, everybody. What do you guys think? I want to know. Yours is different than mine, Angel.
Mine is so refreshing. I love it. It has a pop of sweetness from the pomegranate. I like the taste of the arugula. The bread is perfect. It's fluffy. I mean, I like mine a lot. Yours, guys, look like a little more savory than mine, but this is fantastic.
What do you think? I want to know your opinion. Tell me.
The chorizo with the eggs makes you feel like you're having like some sort of breakfast, you know? It's like soft, but you still get a crisp to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the bread is just right.
Highly recommend you making sure that that egg is not all the way cooked through, everybody, so you have a sauce on the top.
You gotta have the runny egg.
So I'm glad you guys enjoyed the side dish. It's very good, but can we try this? Good. I have a feeling it's gonna be good, and I have a feeling it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
Please dig in.
What the?
It smells different.
It smells very different.
Let's find out, everybody. Enough talking. Cheers.
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 Wait, what? Oh my God.
Takes a second.
It's like a more robust beef flavor for sure. And it's like the crispiness is a little bit more enhanced too.
Yes.
On the first steak we tried, I could taste that gravy more than the actual beef, but on this one, it's the complete opposite. Even through the gravy, you get that strong beefy flavor, and it's so nice.
Not only is it more flavorful, it also lingers after you take each individual bite.
I also like the amount of acidity that it has. I don't know if it's coming straight up from the sauce or if it's the mix of the sauce with the steak.
No, it has nothing to do with the sauce. Both sauces are exactly the same.
Well, I like how it's tasting. Personally, I like the strength of the crust, and the flavor is way more beefy.
If you guys had to choose the first one or the second one, which one?
Second one, no. I already finished my second bite.
There's one more thing I want you guys to try.
Okay.
This is Brazilian style ground beef, the way we make it in Brazil. I'm gonna put a little bit of the sauce on the top, just like that for you guys. This one is basically the same thing as the previous one, but you can see there's something different in the middle.
There's something white in there.
Something.
Cheesy.
Enough talk, let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. The cheese adds such a nice gooiness and creates like even more of that like nice texture, juice, steakness, I guess, that ground beef needs.
Beef and cheese have always been a match made in heaven. I mean, you can't really go wrong putting cheese on some beef.
So with that being said, which one is your favorite?
I'm going for the middle one.
The middle one. Wow, I'm surprised. How about you, Leo?
I like this cheese one a lot.
So here we got the ground beef dry age experiment.
Ah,
You dry age ground beef.
Yeah,
You said you
why,
ground it
why did you
yourself.
stop it?
Because that doesn't sound right.
I know it doesn't sound right, everybody. The only reason this will work is if you grind your own meat. Please, don't even think about trying if you don't grind your own meat.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
But it's much safer for you to dry age whatever kind of piece of beef you want, then grind it later. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. Remember, everything I use is always on the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.